The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. You know, sometimes the best surprises come when you forget what game you're actually going to do. And instead of Milwaukee, California, or Milwaukee, Kansas City, you get Kansas City and California. And on the 3rd of July, you saw everything right and wrong with the front-running California Angels. We start in the first. The Royals loaded the bases and couldn't score anybody. Then in the second, the Angels went boom boom. Freddie Lynn first with a solo shot, his 11th. And then Rod Carew with his 3rd of the year to make it 2-0 Angels. In the third, Bobby Grich with a fielder's choice, and then Don Baylor, a 2-run shot, gave the Angels a 5-0 lead. But tick, 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 chip it away. Starting in the bottom of the third, George Brett singled home Willie Wilson to put the Royals on the board. They trailed 5-1. UL Washington walked with the bases loaded to score Hal McRae in the fourth. It was 5-2. And then Greg Pryor, a solo shot in the eighth, made it 5-3. Still, the Angels were holding on, but back came the Royals in the ninth. Greg Pryor with the ground out, scoring a run to make it 5-4, and then Lee May with a 2-run single off of Don Asse made it 6-5. The lead now was cut down. California still in first, but the Kansas City Royals are en fuego. Now at 42-33, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1982. A primetime holiday replay from Royal Stadium in Independence, Missouri. It's the Kansas City Royals and the California Angels on a hot, sticky, nasty Missouri afternoon. 90 degrees, winds howling. At 17 from right to left, it kind of explains why my hair is a mess. No, not really. I got a good nap in earlier. So the Angels showed in their 78th game of the year their major problem going into as we go further in the season. They just don't have a bullpen. They blew a big lead to the Royals, who contended in 1982 but did not win. Now, the Angels go with their ace Jeff Zahn. The Royals go with Buddy Black. As I said, it's hot, it's sticky. The Angels are still in first. The White Sox haven't gone anywhere. The Royals are trying to make this a 3-team race. Can they? Well, let's get right to it and play the gosh gilly darn game, shall we? Hey, hi there, Bobby Catalano. How are you this evening? Bud Black is on the mound for the Royals. He is 3-0 on the year with a 4.15 ERA. This will be start number 5 for him. His last time out, 6 innings against these Angels in Anaheim. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 6. Yep, he walked 6 and won the game. He's thrown 30 in the third innings, 32 hits. He's allowed 1 homer, 14 runs in total, 14 earned runs. He has now walked 16 and struck out 11. And should be good for about 100 pitches in this heat. All right, so let's take a look at the American League West standings. If you watched yesterday, nothing else has changed. You can see Detroit now leading Baltimore by a game. California has lost their last 2, so Kansas City has won their last 6. So the lead over the White Sox is now 2.5 for the Angels. And the Royals, because they've gotten hot, have cut their deficit to 3.5. So that's the closest battle we got going on. And the Angels, remember, they blew a 5-run lead in yesterday's game. Would love to get this one. Here's a lineup that Bud Black will be facing. Brian Downing is in left field. He'll bat first. Juan Badika is the right fielder will bat second. Bobby Grich with the left-hander on the mound will hit third and play second. Don Baylor, the DH, will clean up. Doug DeCinces will play third and bat fifth. That's Papa Jack, Ron Jackson in first, and he will bat sixth. Clark, the center fielder, he'll go seventh. Bob Boone behind the plate will bat eighth, and Mick Kelleher, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Their ace, Jeffrey Zahn, how you doing, Earl? Is on the mound and hopes to go deep for the Angels. I'm doing just fine, thanks. So thank you, Earl, and thank you, Bobby, for being along with us. Here's the defense around Bud Black is Willie Wilson in left. He's an 8 and a 2. Amos Otis in center. He's a 7 and 5. That's very good. Jerry Martin is in right field. He's an 8 and a 5. George Brett at third. He's a 6 out of 10. UL Washington a 5 at short. Frank White, the anchor of the infield, a 10 at second. Willie Mays Aikens at first. Can't see where he is at the moment. John Wathen a 7 and a 7 behind the plate. Brian Downing, as I said, steps in on a 90-degree afternoon on an artificially turfed field. Winds are blowing hard right to left at 17. Downing at 262. 16 homers and 39 RBI. Black is ready, and so are we. Downing hits this one into right. Martin in the corner, 1 out. Aikens, by the way, is a 5 at first. And hope that you all brought your Gatorade. Don't drink too much beer in this heat. You'll dehydrate rather quickly. Juan Beniquez at 299 with 3 RBI. And is in right because Jackson's a left-handed hitter. And the lefty's on the mound. Pitch to Juan is a ground ball to Brett at third. Over to Aikens, 2 away. That brings up Bobby Grich at 253, 8 homers and 42 RBI. And just in case Baseball Demos joins us at some point, Bobby does have 4 stolen bases on the year. Black delivers, and there's a ground ball to Washington over to Aikens. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. California nothing. Here come the Royals. And so although you don't see his picture here is the ace of the staff of California, Jeff Zahn. He is already a 10-game winner. He's 10 and 2 with a 3.82 ERA and certain to be in Montreal next Tuesday afternoon for the All-Star game. He has been hit hard a lot this year. His last time out was the 29th of June, so 6 days ago. 8 2/3 innings against the Texas Rangers, allowed 11 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Against these Royals on the 24th, he took a loss. He gave up 7 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. So overall on the year, 115 innings, 137 hits, 55 runs in total, 9 homers, 49 earned runs. He has walked 33 and struck out 44. So here is the Royals lineup on this 4th of July. It's Willie Wilson will lead it off and play left field. John Wathen, who loves this replay, will bat second. George Brett will hit third. Amos Otis will clean up. Hal McRae, sitting on a 14-game hitting streak, is the DH. He'll go 5th. Jerry Martin in right will bat 6th. Willie Aikens will bat 7th and play 1st. Frank White, the second baseman, goes 8th. And UL Washington, how you doing, Mr. Lonsdale? The toothpick-wielding shortstop will bat 9th. So Willie, they're playing back. Got an 8-game hitting streak. He's at 317 with a homer and 11 RBI. So he's going to bunt, and he bunts a good one to Sensei way in on the turf, and Wilson will beat it out. So DeCinces was caught by surprise, and that'll bring up John Wathen at 262. A homer and 12 RBI. They're going to swing away here. Boone's got a great arm. Let me give you the Angel defense. Downing a 6 and a 3 in left. Bobby Clark a 2 and a 5. Or Clark is a 2 and a 5 in center. Beniquez is a 2 and 5 in right. That's not very good. The Sensei at third is a 9 out of 10. Kelleher is a 3 at short. That's not very good. Grich is 7 at second, and that's Ron Jackson at first. We'll get him in a moment. Bob Boone is a 10 with a 9 arm. So be careful who you steal on today. Pitch to Wathan is a ground ball to the Sensei over to first for the only play, and Wathan is retired. And Ron, that was a great play actually by the Sensei. Artificial surface bounce is true, and so that ball is going to speed through the infield. Papa Jack, if you're wondering, is a 5 at first. Here's George Brett. 284 on this 4th of July with 8 homers and 49 RBI. Tomorrow at lunch, Los Angeles and Montreal to wrap up the week in baseball. Pitch from Zahn, and there's a fly ball in the shallow left. Downing is there. Wilson will tag and hold at second, 2 out. For Amos Otis at 280, 6 homers and 45 RBI. Hope you're nice and comfortable wherever you are on this Wednesday night. And hopefully it's not 90 degrees where you are. Zahn delivers to Otis, and that's a base. Well, it's going to be an error. That was a comebacker right to Zahn, and he just couldn't get the glove on it in time. So it's first and third for the Royals and 2 out on the Zahn error. And I'll bring up Hal McRae, 14-game hitting streak at 329, 10 homers and 49 RBI. Certainly we'll see him Tuesday afternoon in Montreal for the All-Star game. Zahn delivers, and there's a base hit in the left center. Wilson will score. Otis goes to third, and the Royals get first blood 1-0. And McRae's hitting streak reaches 15. Here's Jerry Martin. 269, 5 homers, and 30 RBI for Jerry. So we're ready. Pitch from Zahn. And there's a long drive into center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Martin's on with a double. The run scores as Otis, and McRae moves to third. So on a day where the Angels really needed Jeff Zahn to bear down, he has done anything but. Willie Aikens getting the rare start against the lefty at 274, 8 homers and 36 RBI. Dinner ran late. Yep, I do love this old park. What'd you have for dinner, Mr. Gardner? Pitch to Aikens is a chopper foul third base side. And so it's 0-2 from Zahn to Aikens. Runners on second and third. 2 out. Ball 4. So they're loaded for Frank White. 242, 3 homers, and 23 RBI. So the Royals can kind of break this one open early. Pitch from Zahn, and that's a liner up the middle. Base hit. McRae will score. Martin scores. Aikens holds at third. White is on first, and it's 4-0 Kansas City. Sandwiches and ice cream. Ice cream sandwiches, perhaps, from Market Basket? So here's the toothpick-wielding UL Washington. The Royals are going to bat around here in the first. He's at 304, 4 homers and 17 RBI. Pitch from Zahn. There's a ground ball right back to Jeff. Over to Ron Jackson to retire the side. The Royals score 4 runs. All unearned on 4 hits and 1 earned. Dave's wondering, how would I know that? Ancient Chinese secret. After 1, it's Kansas City 4, California 0. And here comes Baylor, the Sensei, and Ron Jackson. Baylor at 281, 17 homers and 58 RBI on the year. California, If you joined us late, they blew a 5-run lead to these Royals late yesterday, and they're now down 4-0 in the the second today. Pitch to Baylor is a fly ball to left center. Otis is there, makes the catch, 1 out. Brings up Doug DeCinces at 309, 13 homers and 42 RBI. If you recognize the name Bud Black but aren't really a fan of 80s baseball, well, you should, because Black is the current manager of the Colorado Rockies. Pitch to DeCinces is a fly ball to left. Wilson goes over and makes a leaning catch in foul ground into the seats. And grabs a sip of beer. How about that? So Wilson with a diving stop in the stands to make the out. Grabs a sip of somebody's Budweiser and gets a standing ovation. Here's Ron Jackson at 325 and 6 RBI. Black delivers, and Jackson hits a ground ball to Washington. Over to Akins. Half looks like bait. What? California looks like Baltimore. Okay. Don't use my glasses to read the chat. But yes, they do. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. It's the Royals 4, the Angels nothing. Dale, without my glasses on, it looks like half looks like bait. And I wondered what you were talking about. But yes, they do look like Baltimore. And so Willie Wilson will lead off. Jeff Zahn threw 29 pitches in the first. Gave up 4 hits and a walk and 4 unearned runs. Willie Wilson singled and scored in the first. Zahn delivers. Ground ball to Kelleher. Quick throw to Jackson, and they got him. So a better start in the second for Zahn. John Wathan's 0 for 1. And he chops this one down to third. DeCinces by the bag. Long throw to Jackson. It's 2 out. But Zahn needed. His real-life whip was 1.265 in 82. And the American League hit 259 against him. That's the real-life numbers. Despite winning 10 games in the replay, his whip is 1.496. And that is the ratio of walks and hits allowed divided by innings pitched. And the American League is hitting Zahn at a 301 clip. Brett is 0 for 1. Pitch to George is a fly ball to right center. Clark is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 2. It's Kansas City 4, California nothing. And it's even warmer here now in Kansas City. Clear skies, 91 degrees. The wind has calmed down. You can smell the barbecue from right to left at 11 miles an hour. Bobby Clark, I did have all right, but not the hockey player. Hitting .368 with a homer and 3 RBI. Black delivers, struck him out. He swung on and missed a 1-2 fastball, and that's the first of the day for Bud. Here's Bob Boone at 237, a homer and 25 RBI. Where's your favorite place to get barbecue? There's so many different kinds of barbecue out there. Everyone has a favorite style. Kansas City, of course, is known for its barbecue. What's your favorite? Just let me know in the chat or the comments below. Pitch to Boone is a chopper down to Washington on the dirt by second base, over to Akins for the out. And there's 2 quick out here in the third for Mick Kelleher, who I don't remember playing for the Angels. He played for the Cubs. And, well, he's hitting 1 for 15 on the year. But that single did produce an RBI. And somehow it got it into 5 double plays on the year. 1 so far in the replay. Pitch from Black. And there's a base hit into left field. So Kelleher is on with a 2-out single. And after 9 batters, Bud Black, 2 2/3 innings, 25 pitches, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. That's pretty clean. Downing hit one down the line and right that Jerry Martin corralled to start the game. 2 out, top of the third, 4-0 Kansas City. Pitch to Downing is popped up left side. Washington calls for it by the bag at second, and he's got it. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2.5 in the books. It's the Royals 4, the Angels nothing. And that'll bring up Amos Otis. Amos scored. Reached on the air by Zahn, which opened up the floodgates thereafter. Zahn delivers, and Otis hits this one into left center. Back goes Clark, and that is off the wall. So Otis will grind for 2, and he's in the second standing. That's the 5th hit for Kansas City. And that'll bring up Hal McRae, who started the line moving with an RBI single in the first. Pitch from Zahn, and there's a fly ball to left. Downing in the corner makes the catch for the out. Otis hustles to third, and Downing just tosses it back in the infield. So you can see Amos Otis' picture there, covered by Jeff Zahn's stats. Brings up Jerry Martin, had an RBI double in the first. Jeff Zahn not having himself a happy 4th. That's the 5th hit. Martin, fly ball to left. Downing goes in the corner, way back there. He'll turn and watch it go. And so Jerry Martin makes it 6-0 Kansas City. Watch it again. And I think Martin just got some hanging curve in there, and that one was hung out into the wind. So 6-0 Royals, 1 out here in the third. Willie Aikens walked his first time up. Pitch from Zahn, and that's a base hit in the left field. Kelleher should have had that. And I'm not sure what the White Sox are doing today, but you got to be drooling at this point. The Angels have their ace on the mound, and he's given up 7 hits in 2 1/3 innings. Frank White had a 2 RBI single in the first. Pitch from Zahn, and that's foul. It's a foul tip. Now the count is 0-2. So back to Zahn. And here we go. Fly ball to left. Downing goes into foul territory and makes the catch for the out. So 2 out and a major hole to climb for the Angels. Here's UL Washington, who's 0 for 1. Zahn delivers, and there's a fly ball into right field. Benitez and Gritch goes out to steal it. So he's the Gritch that stole the 3rd out. But the Royals played 2 more on 3 hits and no errors. After 3, it's the Royals 6, the Angels nothing. And so if the Royals win, their deficit is now would be 2.5. Here's Juan Benitez, he's 0 for 1. The White Sox have a chance to cut it to 1.5 games if they win their game today. Benitez draws ball 4. And finally, some good news for California. Only the second base runner of the night for the Angels. Here's Bobby Gritch, he's 0 for 1. Grounded out to Washington in the first. This time he hits one to White, trying for 2 to UL for 1. Over to Aikens, call it 2. And so even when the Angels do something right, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Kind of like Paula Abdul's career. Here's Don Baylor. Don is 0 for 1. Sitting on a 7-game hitting streak and flew out to Otis in his first time up. Ground ball to Washington, over to Aikens, and that will retire the side. So on a day where Kansas City needed Bud Black to go some distance, he's only thrown 41 pitches through 4 innings. We go after 3.5. It's the Royals 6, the Angels nothing. And Jeff Zahn starts his third time through the lineup. 3 innings, 7 hits. The homer by Martin finally gave some earned runs. It's 2 earned runs now for Zahn of the 60s in total. He has walked 1 and struck out none. Willie Wilson's 1 for 2 with a single to run scored. And Zahn starts the inning with a fly ball to left. Downing makes the great catch. He kind of had to slide on that artificial surface, which will rip up your knees, and then the cork warning track. It's not dirt here in Kansas City to make the catch. Now it's even hotter. It's 92 degrees. There's John Wathen. He's 0 for 2. Yay, Clinton Parks. That's the best news of the day. He got the job. Yay, buddy. So Wathen has grounded out twice to third. Zahn delivers, and there's a ground ball to Kelleher over to Papa Jack for the out. How did I help, Clinton? George Brett, the batter. George is 0 for 2. Has flown out twice. 6-0 Royals, bottom of the 4th. Zahn delivers, and there's a fly ball to left field. Downing will get this one. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, it's a great 4th in Kansas City. They lead 6-0. So DeCinces, Papa Jack, and Will Clark. Or not Will Clark, Bobby Clark. DeCinces is 0 for 1. Black delivers to start the 5th. Ground ball to White over to Aikens, 1 away. So congratulations to Clinton Parks. Got the job he wanted. See some overseas travel in his future. Ron Jackson's 0 for 1. Grounded out to Washington in his first time up. Black delivers, and there's a base hit in the left center field. Otis will pick it up on the hop. That is true, Clinton. You do care about us. And hey, if my having an allergic reaction to my diabetes medication helps you get a job, then the bandage that's on my right elbow was worth it. No, seriously, congratulations. And it does say a lot about you. Wait a minute. Now as I was fluffing Clinton here, Papa went looking for 2. He's trying for 2, and Otis threw him out. So the Angels got greedy, and instead they got it out. Let's see if this got picked up on the camera. So you can see the ball go in there. I didn't see him going for 2. Wait, he does, and the throw into White was in time. So the Angels may not like Clinton Parks right now, but I think he's a pretty good guy. Bobby Clark is 0 for 1. He struck out, the lone strikeout for Black so far. 2 out, top the 5th. Pitch to Clark. Ground ball to White over to Aikens, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, a big base running boo-boo for the Angels halfway home. Kansas City 6, California nothing. So we'll start with the batting summary before we go on to the in-game box score. A reminder, starting next week, our baseball games will be all daytime affairs for the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, as it will take over the Friday afternoon slot as you look at the pitchers for the Patriot Challenge. So baseball starting next week will be Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at lunch. And we'll have something special for you Monday and Wednesday night. So now that you're caught up with that, here's Amos Otis. Amos is 1 for 2. He has scored twice and doubled. He reached on an error by Zahn in the first. And this one's been all Kansas City. Now 92 degrees and the winds have shifted out to right center at 11. Zahn's pitch, and there's a home run. That was an absolute no-doubter in the left center. That was gone the second he hit it. And it's 7-0 Royals. So Amos hits his 7th of the year. And I don't know how long Gene Mauch can leave Jeff on for. He's only thrown 80 pitches. 7-0 Kansas City. Here's Hal McRae. He singled, has an RBI, his 50th of the year, and scored his 48th run. He now has a 15-game hitting streak. Any stolen bases? Nope. Oh, okay. Clinton goes on to say, I found out this place I'll be working is developing an enzyme that is supposed to help with diabetes. It's still experimental. Well, anything you guys can do to help with that, I will gladly take. Pitch to McRae is a fly ball to right. Beniquez, one away. So congratulations. No stolen bases yet. With the lefties on the mound and Boone behind the plate, Kansas City isn't going to be stupid. Of course, they have a 7-0 lead, and the Angels just haven't had many base runners. Martin, Jerry is doubled and homered. He's 2 for 2. Now is 3 RBI on the night. Pitch from Zahn. Struck him out. That's the first from Zahn on the ball game. An 0-2 pitch, breaking ball below the belt, and Martin will go back to the bench. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Willie Aikens has walked and singled. He's 1 for 1. Well, the Angels don't really have a bullpen, and Zahn is their ace. You can take a look to see what the settings are if you want real quick. Don't pitch in relief and always pull when tired. Full starter after 7 runs. Well, he's allowed 7, but he's still in the ballgame. California, you weren't with us earlier, Clinton. California had a 5-0 lead in the Saturday game and blew it. Just plain out blew it. And the Royals walked it off with a Greg Pryor single, I believe it was. Willie Aikens, as I told you, walked and single. He's 1 for 1. And there's a line drive in the right center. Clark should have had that one, and Aikens is on with a double. And so for the Angels, this bad day is not getting any better. White is the batter. Frank 1 for 2. 2 RBI single. And Zahn, on this hot, sticky 92-degree day, is ready for a shower and a cold one. There's a base hit into center field. Aikens will score. White's going for 2, and it's now 8-0 Kansas City. I can't get in the California bullpen because I manage KC. Here's UL Washington. He's 0 for 2. Zahn delivers. Fly ball to left. Downing makes the catch to retire the side. Not before the Royals put 2 more on the board on 3 hits and no errors. After 5, it's 8-0 Kansas City. How you doing, Kurt Berglund? I'm not overly worried about what the computer settings are. It usually, sometimes it'll leave them in a little long, but it's trying to get people innings. As Clinton will tell you, you got to get those innings in. These pitchers pitched a lot longer. But, oh well. Bob Boone is 0 for 1. Black delivers, and there's a line shot to left field. It's gone, and the Angels are on the board. At least they won't be shut out. Bob Boone, not a big power hitter. That's only 2 on the year. And it's 8-1. Watch that one again. And that's out to left. He's now the pitcher of record. Was there a Willie Aikens on Enos enough? Nick Kelleher singled. He's 0 for 1. That's the first run allowed by Black. Kurt, haven't seen you here before. Welcome. And Freddie Lynn is going to pinch hit for Kelleher. See if the Angels try to actually want to play this now. Freddie, the lefty, Doesn't hit lefties very well, only 250 on the year. 309 overall, 11 homers, and 41 RBI. Pitch from Black. There's a ground ball, base hit past White. So the Angels are showing some signs of life here in the 6th. Willie Ames. There you go. Mr. Mike, how are you? So Lynn is on first. Nobody out for Downing, who is 0 for 2. So through 18 downers, Bud Black, 56 pitches, 5+ innings, 4 hits, the home run, a walk, and a strikeout. Trivial Pursuit is Friday and we are hurting your brains. Sorry, Clinton. Not really. Pitch from Black, ball 4. And so all this talk about pitching settings has upset Bud Black. Here's Juan Beniquez. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Black delivers. Fly ball to right center. Otis is there on the track for the out. Lynn will hold at second, and there's 1 out for Bobby Grich, who is 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. Black delivers. Ball 4, and so they're loaded. As I take a drink, I can tell you that the Royals bullpen. How you doing, Eric, from Higher Ground Gaming? Glad to have you along. Is limited. It's pretty much Dan Quisenberry. So Black really needs to at least start the 7th inning. Baylor's 0 for 2. Pitch from Black. Struck him out. He swung on and tug on an 0-2 fastball, and Wathan hung on to it. That's a big out. So brings up the Sensei, who is 0 for 2. Pitch to Doug. Fly ball to left field. Back goes Wilson to the track, but he'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. The Angels get on the board with a solo homer from Boone. A run on 2 hits and no errors. 5.5 in the books. Kansas City 8, California 1. So here's Willie Wilson. Jeff Zahn starts the 6th. Don't ask me why. 5 innings, 98 pitches, 10 hits allowed. Oh, you know why, Clinton? Because there's 4 unearned runs for Kansas City. I bet it's looking at earned runs. 8 runs, only 4 earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. And Willie Wilson is 1 for 3 with a run scored. So Zahn starts the bottom of the 6th with a comebacker right back to Jeff, who bobbles it. Long throw over to Papa Jack, and that's an out. So the Angels catch a break there. Zahn kicked it like a goalie. But unlike the Tampa Bay Lightning, he made the save and got the out. Here's John Wathan. He's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right. Beniquez in the corner makes the catch for the 2nd out. George Brett. Tim Foley is at short. So Freddie Lynn will not stay in the game. And Foley is a 6, which is a better defensive option than Kelleher's 3. George Brett, speaking of 3s, is 0 for 3. Pitch from Zahn, and there's a base hit into right field. Beniquez picks it up on a hop. And the Royals have their 11th hit of the game, a run on 4 hits and an error for the Angels. They've stranded 4. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Kansas City, and they've stranded 4 so far. Amos Otis is 2 for 3. He has doubled, launched one in the left center field his last time up, and scored 3 times. Zahn, ground ball up the middle, base hit. Brett will hold at second. And there's 2 out for McRae, who is 1 for 3. Has an RBI, his 50th, and a run scored. So 2 on, 2 out. And if you're a Royal fan, you're doing cartwheels. Boone goes out to talk is on. And McRae hits this one to Grich. And Grich is going to be able to make a play on it. So Bobby commits the error. That bounced off his glove, and the Angels now face the bases full of Kansas Cityans again. For Jerry Martin, who has doubled and homered, he's driven in 3. He's 2 for 3. And now it's a ground ball to DeCinces, makes a fine long throw across the diamond to retire Martin. So the Royals will leave them loaded after 6. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. This time it doesn't hurt. Kansas City, though, 8. California 1. How you doing, Ryan? I'm doing much better. And I didn't see who did Clinton get to roll their own dice? Yep, we've all made that one mistake before, Mr. Mike. And yep, doing a lot better this weekend. Thank you, Ryan. This week, Clinton customer sales support for a biological group that delivers. That's Domino's job. Enzymes, antibodies, serums, and others. So Bud Black gets the fatigue warning at 79 pitches, but if he can get 4 or 5 more batters, he can make everybody's life here in Kansas City a lot easier. Ron Jackson is 1 for 2. He's gotten a single. And one of the 4 Angel hits on the afternoon. And there's a ground ball to White. Charges in on the turf. Over to Aikens for the out. Higher Ground Gaming went to Dice. Congratulations. It really is a cathartic experience to play cards and dice. I'm doing one that's using an Excel helper that I'm not doing a replay on, and I enjoy it immensely. I did a video on the game, actually. Bobby Clark is 0 for 2. They've already burned Freddie Lynn as a pinch hitter. Clark has struck out once. Pitch from Black. Fly ball to center field. Otis is there, and there's 2 away. So Black getting the quick inning he needed, and Dick Hauser might let him start the 8th. Here's Bob Boone. Bob hit a home run. If you're getting home runs from Bob, well, he did it 7-82. But if Bob Boone is your main source of power, you better go give the hamster some more pellets because he's not spinning the wheel fast enough. Pitch from Black. Ground ball to White. Over to Aikens. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Stretch time here on the 4th of July in Kansas City, or Independence. An appropriate place to play a game on the 4th of July, Independence, Missouri. 8-1, the home team leads. Yeah, Higher Ground has been doing videos for a while. Enjoy watching his stuff. And of course, someone mentioned it in the chat about his tutoring. Higher Ground owes me an interview, by the way. So, Eric, if you're interested, if you don't have my email, I can give it to you right now. But I'd love to have you on at some point, because you and King Ikibu are the ones that I started to watch before I started doing all this. And so if you, for the person the troll that always hits the dislike in my videos, blame them. Willie Aikens is 2 for 2. He singled, doubled, and scored a run and walked. That's a sentence and a half run. 8-1 Royals, bottom of the 7th. And Zahn soldiers on out there and gives that one up into center. Aikens is going for 2, and Willie's got it. Frank White is 2 for 3. He is singled, doubled, and driven in 3. You know, it just occurred to me that we got Black and White on the same field. The pitcher and the second baseman. Michael Jackson would be proud someplace. Pitch to White as a grounder to Foley makes his first chance of the game. Long throw to Jackson for the out. That's Ron Jackson. And there's 1 away for UL Washington. UL is 0 for 3. I am Sporticus. How are you? And thank you very much. Oh yeah, watch out for Jester. You never know. Yep, and Higher Ground is right. Actually, all the inside sports games give you that card and dice feel. And of course, NP3 does as well. And Clinton's got payoff pitch is the one game I wish that they did have a helper for. I just love that game. I love watching ID Jester and Combat Painter streams of those. It just is such a good engine. It just gives the pitcher that much of a thing and a lot of variety. I told you UL is 0 for 3. He bites on that toothpick as he sends this one into deep center. Back goes Clark, and it's gone. UL Washington homers. It makes it 10-1 Kansas City. That's his 5th of the year. Really? Into dead center. That went into the batter's eye. The only part of the park that actually was grass in 1982. And it's now 10-1. Brings up Willie Wilson. So Jeff's on. It's not giving up his 7th earned run yet, which is why he's still in the game. 6 1/3 innings, 14 hits. 3 home runs. Kansas City was not a power team. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Wilson is 1 for 4. With a single and a run scored. And he sends that one to Foley. Long throw across to get him. And there's now 2 out for John Wathan, who's not having a great day. 0 for 2. I believe higher ground not to speak for Clinton because Clinton's capable of doing that. They have to be complete seasons. But yes, that's a hell of a deal. If you actually do one, you get 2 for giving them the whole data. Pitch to Wathan is a ground ball to Foley over to Papa Jack, and that will finally retire the side. So it's been a happy 4th here in Kansas City after 7. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Yet another home run, and it's 10-1. And Clinton gives a great explanation. Yeah, send it back. They use our databases to adjust their games. I think that is fantastic, and I fully agree with Mr. Parks. It makes me feel that I'm helping in development with them. Customer service is the name of the game. No matter what sim engine you play, if you feel like you have a friend as a developer, maybe not a close buddy, but someone who will listen to you, it just makes you want to play more. Here's Tim Foley's first time up. 280 on the year, 2 homers, and 29 RBI. Dave, by the way, from Dave Koch's Sports, does great customer service. Most companies give great customer service. There's a couple that I can think of that do not. Pitch to Foley is a liner into center. Otis is going to dive. Can he get there? No, that skips past Otis, and Foley's going to go for 2. So it hit the artificial surface and scampered away, and that'll bring up Brian Downing. So Bud Black, 7 innings, 100 pitches, 27 batters, 5 hits. The surprising home run to Boone. He walked 3 and struck out 2. But with a 9-run lead, you can let Black give up another base hit. Wathan goes out to talk to his pitcher. And Black delivers, and Downing sends this one into left center. Otis is there. 1 away. So we're down to a base runner for Black. Benitez is 0 for 2. Juan has drawn a walk. And grounded out, flew out around that. Black delivers. Fly ball to center. Otis 2 away. Keep in mind, I secretly suspect that NP3 has the clause of NPNG. Okay, I'm kind of interested in that theory, Clinton. And as Eric says, that's a motivator for me. You can play them so much faster. Yeah, you can actually play the MP3 games in about 15 minutes. And you can learn the boards pretty fast, too. Bobby Gretsch, by the way, is 0 for 2. He has walked and grounded into a double play. Yeah, MP3 gives you a lot of stats. Pitch to Gritch. Struck him out. So Buddy Black's day is done. 2-2 pitch on the inside corner, and he got him for strike 3. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Bud's day is done. 7.5 in the books. Kansas City's going to give you great odds at 10-1 over California. And Luis Sanchez, wow. Comes in the pitch. He can go 50. 2-2 his record on a year with 3 saves. A 3.32 ERA. This is his 25th appearance. He does not appear in this series. He pitched against the Royals twice last week, or a couple weeks ago in California. Against the Rangers on the first, he allowed 5 hits in 2 innings, including 2 runs, both earned, a walk and a strikeout. In his 2 recent appearances against the Royals, he gave up a run in 3 2/3 innings. So overall, 38 innings, 42 hits, 16 runs, no homers, 14 earned runs. He's only walked 11. That's not great, but he struck out 32, and this is his game to finish. George Brett is 1 for 4. He's got a single. The jump system. I like the jump system. And Clinton does the C for the Seals, right? Yeah. I am Sporticus came up with it because you can't watch a game without cussing. I like that. That's great. All right, George Brett, as I said, is 1 for 4. He hits this one in the left center. Back goes Downing, and that ball is off the wall. So Brett has a double. And for the Angels, when it rains, it pours. They could use a shower. It's 93 here as we start the bottom of the 8th. And the wind has now changed complete direction. It's now blowing out to right at 11. Here's Amos Otis. He is 3 for 4. He needs a triple for the cycle. And he has a .4 chance of doing that right here. Sanchez delivers, and that's a fly out to center. Clark will haul it in for the out. Clinton says you avoid the extra dice rolls when you go back to the C. Okay, that's a 65 replay. Brett will go to third. The throw from Clark is not in time. So runner on third is Brett. Here's Hal McRae. 1 for 4. He's got a 15-game hitting streak now. And as I said, you will see him Tuesday afternoon in the All-Star game from Montreal. Pitch to McRae is a ground ball foul down the bag at third. And the count is now 0-2. Sanchez delivers. Struck him out. 0-2 pitch caught the inside corner. Now I'll bring up Jerry Martin, who has 3 RBI today. Now is 33 on the year. Managers, by the way, for the Tuesday All-Star game will be Bob Lemon for the Yankees and Tommy Lasorda for the Dodgers, because they were the managers last year's in the 81 World Series. Jerry Martin, I already told you his numbers, having a pretty good day. And he'll take ball 4 as Brett danced down the line at third. Willie Aiken just 3 for 3. Double twice, scored twice, did a cameo, and 8 is enough. 10-1, Royals lead up bottom of the 8th. Thanks for staying with us. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to Grich. Long throw to Jackson, and that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bud Black's day is done after 8. Kansas City 10, California 1, and we're going to go with Mike Armstrong. Armstrong has thrown 2 days in a row, but you really want to save Quisenberry when you have a close game. And with a 9-run lead, you just don't need to bring him in. Don Hood, the lefty, by the way, that is in the Royal pen, is the scheduled pitcher for the next game, the game on the 5th. So Armstrong is making appearance number 20 on the year. He is 5-2 with the save and an ERA of 5.91. He threw 3 innings on Friday, gave up a run and a hit, struck out 5, walked 2. Yesterday, he allowed he went 2/3 of an inning and gave up a walk. So in 35 innings, 21 hits, 23 runs all earned, 7 long balls. He has walked 23 and struck out 36. So Baylor, DeCinces, and Ron Jackson, the scheduled hitters. Don is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Armstrong delivers. Chopper to Brett, over to Aikens, 1 away. Fitness of June 24th. In his 65 replay. And yep, King Inky Boo's all 80s replay is great. Here's Doug DeCinces. He's 0 for 3. Armstrong delivers, and there's a liner to Washington who makes a leaping catch for the second out. So 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Angels, 5 left on. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Royals, no errors, and they left 9 on. Papa Jack is 1 for 3. And how you doing, MP Fox? And it wouldn't be the 4th of July without a hot dog. And speaking of hot dogs, here's the biggest one in baseball, Reggie Jackson. He's such a hot dog, he probably wishes he had a mustard named after him. He's at 291 on the year. He can't hit a 9-run homer, I'm sorry. He's hit 19 long balls on the season with 54 RBI. No, Dave, that's just in your warped imagination. This is 5 years later. He went to California. He took the money, one of Gene Autry's ponies. Armstrong delivers, and there's a base hit in the right field. So, yep, you call him a hot dog, and he pays off. He really was the straw that stirred the drink. But his ego was the size of Montana. And I'm not talking Joe. I can't believe Bobby Clark's going to hit here. He does. He's 0 for 3. Ground ball to Brett. And it's a throw over to Aikens. Clark's got some wheels, and he beat it out. So the Angels are not going quietly into this good night. Brings up Bob Boone, 1 for 3 with a solo shot, his second of the year. Pitch to Boone. Got him, and the game is over. He swung on and missed on a 2-2 fastball at 93. And for the Angels, this house of horrors is finally over. The Royals have cut their deficit down to 2.5 games as they beat the Angels 10-1. Here are the pitching numbers. Jeff Zahn was just Christmas treed. 7 innings, 14 hits. 10 runs, 6 earned. Bud Black, 8 innings, 5 hits, a run it was earned. Pitched very well, and Jack Armstrong and Luis Sanchez just clean up the pieces here. Your batting heroes? Well, it's kind of hard to say that Jerry Martin doesn't deserve the MVP or Amos Otis fell a triple short of the cycle. All right, thanks for staying, Mr. Gardner. Like I said, Eric, I'd love to have you on my show if you're interested. Just let me know. So your Miller Lite MVP on this 4th of July is Bud Black. And all Bud did was throw 8 pitches and allow 1 run on 5 hits and pick up his 4th win. And so the final score from here, Kansas City 10, California 1. And so real quick, let's run the entire 4th of July. But you get to see me in my bad hair. All right. Doubleheaders aplenty because it's still a holiday. Tonight? Okay, I did hit myself. So the Phillies sweep a doubleheader from the Mets 7-2 in the first one. Steve Carlton goes to 7-5, and then 11-3 in the nightcap. Mike Krukow goes to 9-6. Big doubleheader in Pittsburgh between Montreal and the Pirates. The Pirates win game 1, 4-3-10. Rod Scurry gets the win. Steve Rogers gets the loss. He goes to 14-2. But Montreal got even in the nightcap, 20-3. Oy vey. Timmy Wallach, 2 homers, and Bill Gullickson goes to 8-5. Cleveland beat the Yankees 11-7. Let me get a drink. I can hear my voice. All right, that should be better. You missed it yesterday. Tigers beat the Orioles 9-5. Frank Viola gets the win as the Twins beat the Toronto's 4-2. Seattle beat Chicago 8-6. So the White Sox gain no ground. It's 2.5 in the West now between White Sox, Royals trailing behind, of course, the Angels. Cubs lose to the Cardinals 11-5. ID is happy somewhere. John Stuper goes to 2-0. Red Sox beat the Brewers 3-1. Dennis Eckersley goes to 8-9. And my God, Mark Clear got a save. He now has 7. Oakland beat Texas 8-3. Matt Keogh, the second win of the year. Ricky Henderson stole a base. He now has 76. Dodgers beat Houston 4-2. Jerry Royce goes to 9-5. The Dodgers are a 50-win team. Nolan Ryan takes the loss. The other games, Cincinnati down Atlanta 7-6. Bob Shirley goes to 2-4. And San Francisco beat San Diego 7-3. Adley Hammaker goes to 3-9. And we'll bring up all the standings you could possibly get. So in the National League East, it's Montreal by 6 over Philly. In the West, the Dodgers by 8 over the Braves. In the American League East, Detroit by 1 over Baltimore, 6 over Milwaukee. California, 2.5 over Chicago and Kansas City. Montreal and Los Angeles is the noontime game tomorrow. Best hitting team against the best pitching team in baseball. What could possibly go on? All right, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much. I'm Ron Juckett. I showed the standings in the front, but you should be able to see them right there now. So thank you so much. So till tomorrow at lunch, we'll talk to you then. I'm Ron Juckett. Have yourself a very good night, and we'll talk to you, my friends, the next time.